Hi everyone, and welcome to the first ever webcast of Inside Raider Nation with Coach Jon Lindsey. I'm your host, Mike Prater. So let's get right to it. I'd like to introduce the new head coach of East Paulding football, Jon Lindsey. Welcome aboard, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all having me.
We appreciate you coming aboard. It's been a long time coming, some would say. Tell us a little bit about your journey coming to East Paulding.
Well, it's been a little bit of a crazy off season, making the move up, and I really thought moving back home, this being home for me, I really thought it would be a very easy move, but it's been a process of getting moved back up. My kids have gotten older, and getting here, everybody's welcomed us here. We're excited about being a Raider, and all my family here in the Paulding County area, they're excited about Raider football, and it's good to see people I played football with, and just getting back home and seeing a familiar face. I haven't done that in 10 years, so that's been a welcome.
Well, we're really excited about having you on board at the helm. Tell us a little bit about the spring and summer leading up to the season. I know you've jumped right into it head first. Tell me some of the things that you've added into the system, into the program, and some of your expectations going into the season.
Well, coming in, I don't know, adding, I don't know. I don't really look back on what's went on here in the past. I know the way I want to do things, and, I put certain things in place. And coming in this spring, we had a lot. I basically got here and we've revamped the coaching staff and have over half of our staff's brand new. So that's always, tough getting into spring. We were missing several of them. We kind of had a skeleton crew, is what I call it, for spring. But we got a lot out of spring football. I thought the kids enjoyed it. I thought they came out. We got our basics taught and really just got to know the kids, and that was good for us. And came out of the gate, pushing the Raider test and got the new Super Raider boards up in the weight room, and the kids did real well on that. So, I was excited and still am excited. We've had a great summer. This summer we've been to 9 helmet and shoulder pad camps, or not camps, had days of practice at 2 different camps, and that's been really good for us and gave us a chance to kind of, knock some of that first off, that early, get some of that figuring out who's going to do what in pads and who's going to do what in live action. So that's really helped us this summer. Our summer attendance has been good, and we're rolling in the fall right now, healthy, and know a lot more than we did the first day I got here.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I know you've implemented a new offense and a new defensive scheme into the program. Do they seem to be grasping that well? Do you feel like we're progressing along well with the new offensive and defensive schemes?
I do. We've come a long way since day one of spring football, and this summer we really improved. We were talking about kids that have improved, and the more you watch them, the more you get them on film, the more you can see them, how comfortable they're getting in the offense. And it just takes time. I mean, there's no way really the only way you can speed the process is to go to the camps we went to. And, we went to 2 of those and got as much of that as we could. And that's the only way to speed the process up. Otherwise, it is what it is, just a process.
So y'all went to the Reinhardt and the KSU camp, correct? Mm-hmm. There were a lot of teams that you're going to see in the season out at those camps?
There wasn't anybody there that we'll see, but it was good, quality competition from all over the state, and different schools and different teams, and really enjoyed that part of it, and got a chance to put on some helmets, shoulder pads, and hit somebody with a different colored jersey on. So that always makes it good.
Yeah, it always makes it better. Mm-hmm. Now, as you know, last year was a bit of a struggle for the program, finishing 4 and 6. This is a program that's finished in the playoffs 6 of the last 8 years, second round or better. Do you have any specific goals going into the season that you've kind of talked to the boys about? Leading into the season that you want to achieve as a program?
Absolutely. We've got 4 goals that I set from day one. Our first one's to make the playoffs. Regardless of what else goes on, we want to make the playoffs. Our next goal is to win the county. You want to win where you live. Right. We want to win Paulding County and be the dominant program in Paulding County. And our next one is to win the region. You don't have to win the region to win a state championship, but our next one is a state championship. Well, that's really in that order is the way I look at it in my mind. Let's make the playoffs, let's win the county, win the region, win a state championship.
Let's go ahead and get it. I know you started Raider testing. You mentioned that earlier. Tell us a little bit about Raider testing, and can you tell us a little bit about the new field, the progression on the new field, and what to expect out of that?
Sure. Raider testing, we had a Super Raider test. It was originally started by Nick Hyder in Valdosta. And Coach Herron got a hold of it when we were at Camden and modified it, and I really just took it from him, the blueprint from him, and we've been using the same test. I've got data all the way back on Bryce Ramsey, who's at Georgia now, and J.J. Green, and we got a couple guys in the NFL that it's pretty neat to look back on that data from when I was at Camden to say, you can compare yourself to a J.J. Green or Bryce Ramsey type kid and kind of know where you're at. So I really like that, and it's a great test because it tests your strength, it tests your mental toughness, and it tests your agility. And those are the three things you're going to have in football. And you really, the test really challenges the kids. I love putting their names up on the board. They get so many points for each event. So if we go down and you bench 250 pounds, you're going to get X amount of points. If you go down and you bench 150 pounds, you're going to get X amount of points. Right. Obviously, it's going to be less points. But we total those points. There's 9 different lifts. We total those points up, and the kids get scored on it, and they know where they're at in their class. We rank them by 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, and put their names up, and gives them something to shoot for.
Good competition.
Absolutely, and I like it too because your linemen are not going to do well in a 40-yard dash, but they're going to do great in a squat. So it's kind of a balance. Everybody's got a chance to do well.
So it gives the skilled guys, the smaller guys that are fast, a chance to compete with the bigger guys that can push a bunch of iron in the weight room.
Absolutely. So that's kind of what I like about it.
Now, what about the field? Where are we at with the field, and what's the prediction on when it's going to be ready? Do you know?
I'll be honest with you. I really just kind of tunnel visioned it all. I couldn't tell you. I know what they're telling me, that we're going to play here against Allatoona in the opening game. And that's all I know. That's really all I want to know. I'll be honest with you. I'm not in charge of it, and if I was, I'd know a lot more about it, and I'd be, I'd be a lot more up on it. It has hurt us a little bit practicing. I'm worried about going in the next week. Not really getting on a good game field. I mean, our practice field, is all we got right now. And it makes it a little tough to practice, but we're going to make it through. As a coach, you adapt and overcome, and I've told the boys, don't worry about it. Regardless of whether our field's ready or not, we're going to play football somewhere, and we're going to have a good football team. We're going to be ready to play. We're going to be positive. It's going to be a beautiful field when it's ready, but I can't make it happen any faster, and you can't, and nobody else can. We all want it, and we all know it's going to be beautiful. We're going to have one of the prettiest campuses and prettiest fields and field house, I would say, in the nation. It would rank in one of the top in the nation. So I'm really excited, ready to happen, but I got tunnel vision on next Friday night at Walton.
Hey, I'm excited.
The field will
about
take care of itself.
Yeah, a lot of fans are excited about the renovations coming to the field. We've already got, like you said, one of the best complexes, weight rooms in the state at all high school levels, even some college levels, some would say. So, we're going to have a top-notch facility once that's finished. Now, you mentioned the Walton game. I know we're getting ready to go into our first real test. The Walton game is our first scrimmage game on the 14th. It's going to be at McEachern at 7:30, right? We're going to play after Hiram and McEachern at Walton at 7:30. Tell me a little bit about that game, what your preparations are, and what you expect to see, what you're looking for coming out of that game.
Well, we're preparing just like a real game. It's kind of our run-through as coaches. We're a brand new staff, so everybody's kind of finding their routine. We got to get in routine, and it takes a little while to get in routine with a brand new group of guys. So we're going to treat it like a real game as far as preparation for it. We're going to go over. We're going to play 3 quarters of varsity football, and we're going to play 1 quarter with the JV, the last quarter. Everything's going to be live, but punt return. It'll be a live rush, but the return will be dead. And at some point, we'll probably stop kickoffs and kickoff returns. But my goal is to get our kids on film in a live situation. Walton, they will be a quality opponent for us. They're going to be big, physical. They've got a couple kids that's already been offered scholarships. Mo Dixon is their head football coach. I've coached against him for years. He was at North Gwinnett as the defense coordinator, did an outstanding job, was at Burns, South Carolina, did a great job there, and now he's a head coach at Walton, so his kids will be prepared. They'll be one of the top-notch teams we play all year, I'll be honest with you. It'll be about like a third-round playoff game is what I kind of envision Walton as being.
It'll be a good test, right, to start out the season.
Absolutely. He's going in his second year there. So they've kind of gotten things in routine. So it'll be, that transition for them will go into this year, and, that second year transition is a lot smoother and easier. So they'll be a good opponent for us. We'll know where we're at and get some kids on film.
Well, we're going to take it like you do, I'm sure. We're only going to take it one game at a time.
Amen.
In the webcast, we're not going to talk about anything past what's coming up, which is Walton. But I would like to talk to you a little bit about your senior class. You've got a pretty sizable senior class this year, approximately 24 seniors right now on the roster.
That's right.
Can you tell me a little bit about that class? Have you had any leaders that have stepped up and kind of taken over and taken charge of the team, showing leadership?
Absolutely. It's funny coming in. When you come in as a new coach, you want to give everybody a fresh start and a new chance. And I feel like that's kind of something, doing this for the third time, I kind of feel like that's something I do well. I don't care what a kid did in the past. It's a brand new start for you. It's a brand new day. you come out and do what you're supposed to do, regardless of, what you've done in the past. You got a brand new start with me. And it's funny to watch these kids because I've seen many of them that the coaches say, man, I never would have thought this kid would have done this. Some of the kids that, are here in the past, I never would have thought he would have stepped up the way he has, and never would have thought that he would have turned into what he has become. So it's funny to watch them grow up, to change. I think a lot of times a new coach coming in will give a kid a vision, a new vision of himself as a player. We got some kids I know that we've moved to running back, and some we've moved, on the defensive side of the ball that have absolutely fell in love with it. So, that weren't doing it before. And I think that's important as a head football coach, that you've got to find where to put those pieces. That's my most important job. And, once again, it's one of those things that's a process that takes time. A lot of times the fans see it a lot quicker than you do. A lot of times they see it a lot quicker than you do.
Come on, Coach.
Yeah, but it does. It's a process, and getting to see them every day and just watching these kids mature. I really like our senior class. A lot of times as a new coach coming in, you don't like your senior class because they're not really your kids.
Right.
I kind of feel like these kids are. I really feel like they've bought in and are really buying into our system. And that's big. That's really big going into this year. I tell them all the time, man, I wish I'd have got here sooner because I would have liked to coach these kids when they were younger. They're a talented group. We got a lot of little things we got to fix. But I'm real pleased with their effort. I'm pleased with their leadership. Not perfect by no means, but I'm excited about it.
Well, being around the program for the past couple of years, I can tell you that you can see a definite energy among some of the kids, the seniors that, like you said, you gave them a fresh start, and,
Sure.
and you can see it out on the field. So, well, Coach, we're super excited about having you on board with Raider Nation. Looking forward to a great season, and we're going to do this weekly, kind of talk about last week's game and talk about what's coming up in the next week's game. And, Coach, we appreciate it and wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Guys, we appreciate y'all watching our webcast. We'll see y'all next week on Inside Raider Nation with Coach Lindsey. Thank you.